So this is a Saturday, so happy Sabbath if you follow the Sabbath. And it's April 25th, 2020, amidst the coronavirus lockdown. And I was thinking about how in my younger years, when I would do risky things that were risky, like having kids, a lot of them, and marrying a cool hustler that likes to watch Criminal Minds. And I think about all the risks I take in life, like skydiving. That was fun. And now I do risky things like I stay home and I read newspapers. And this is the Eugene Weekly. And I look at what's happening. I get to the what's happening page and it says nothing. There's nothing. All churches have been shuttered. That's for Sunday. So, consult your church website for live stream worship times. And everything's online. All these support groups are online. You can go to Al-Anon Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous, Codependents Anonymous, Debtors Anonymous, Emotions Anonymous, Marijuana Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, Overeaters Anonymous. God, people have a lot of issues. And online family entertainment. My kids, I heard, are at home watching Criminal Minds, which, who doesn't love a criminal mind? I miss my writers group where I used to talk with the guy who was a forensic photographer for the Nevada Police Department. And boy, he's seen some stuff that I would not ever want to see. I would not want that job. He's seen some horrible things, including most of his coworkers committing suicide, which I've also heard is crisis lines are on the rise. And cracking down during the COVID is going on over here in Oregon. So we cracked down on people. And I thought that I would just join in on the fun of cracking down on people and the benefits of staying home. Because, you can put yourself under house arrest if you have to, especially if you have a guilt complex for everything you've ever done in life, like skydiving and renovating houses and ever swinging a hammer and removing a door off of a bedroom. So I have a book. It's called Forbidden Knowledge. It's always fun. Look at these 101 things not everyone should know how to do. So for you guys out there who are wanting to know how to do things, I've got a book here that, this is not stuff for children. No, this is actually this is sold under humor. It's a humorous book. It tells you how to walk on hot coals and how to become how to build an atom bomb and how to negotiate with kidnappers and how to do a bullfight and how to have fun in an elevator and how to beat a speed camera and how to give a noogie and how to perform open heart surgery and how to saw a woman in half. How to throw a punch. My first husband showed me that. How to play Russian roulette. How to commit identity fraud. That's easy. You just replace somebody. How to counterfeit money, how to crack a safe, make moonshine. That would come in handy in this lockdown. How to pull a practical joke in the toilet. 10 things you shouldn't say to a cop. Now, I grew up around the corner from a police department, and I've spoken to many cops in my life, which are properly called police officers, not cops or pigs. And I've had a couple, did I ever get a speeding ticket? I got a ticket once for not having my seatbelt on. I've been pulled over many times and not given a ticket. And I've had the police called to my house. It's a family tradition to call the police to speak to some of my, kids, and I'm comfortable around police officers for the most part. Yeah, I have no beef with them. But what you don't say is, can't we all get along? Well, then go ahead and beat me up. I need the money to start my own rap label. Why don't we discuss this over a box of donuts? I pay your salary and for the freeway, so I'll speed if I want to, damn it. You can only get away with speeding if you are delivering a check for a lot of money to someone who is going to buy a bunch of masks for hospitals so people don't die. You can't even speed if you have a bowel obstruction and you have to drive yourself to the emergency room. I did my best not to speed on that one. I wasn't going as fast as that guy in front. Yeah, you can't see him anymore because he's so far ahead. What do you mean, have I been drinking? You don't think I drive that fast and talk this slow when I'm sober, do you? I was accused once of being drunk when I wasn't by a police officer. I had just been punched drunk by a woman on drugs, and the officer didn't want me to drive because he thought I was drunk, and I wasn't. But he let my friend drive me, who had had a couple of beers and a whiskey. That was okay. Good old boys club. Don't bother to taser me. I already have a hard-on, see? Is it true that people become cops because they are too dumb to work at McDonald's? No, it's true that people become police officers, often because that career attracts people who like to be in positions of power and control. Some of them are abusive. I know this. That career choice can attract abusers. And there are good cops and there are bad cops. And some of the bad cops will use their positions of power and control to molest women who are under their control, and also potentially do other things that would be against the law for other people, but they can cover it up because of their career choice. I'll show you my license if you show me your boobs. That will probably get you a ticket for sure, and also sexual harassment. Mm-hmm. Well, when I reached down to pick up my bag of crack, my gun fell off my lap and it got lodged between the brake pedal and the gas pedal, forcing me to speed out of control. How about this one? Aren't you the guy from the Village People? One time I got pulled over because I put my blinker on and I wasn't speeding, and I cut a police officer off because I was trying to get to a gas station to buy this woman's partner. I wasn't going to buy it, but this woman's partner wanted some cigarettes. He identifies himself as Satan. And so I was on my way to do a smart reading volunteer with kids. And I got pulled over, and I gave the officer my license, and I was polite. And I let him know I didn't mean to cut him off. And he checked my license, and I didn't have my registration, but it was just around the corner from where I live. And I said, I can get you the registration. It just came in the mail. I haven't put it in my car yet. Well, he checked out everything, and he turned off his lights because it was going to give this other woman a seizure because she's got epilepsy. And he hands everything back to me, and he goes, well, it looks like your blinker's lights out. Just go get your blinker thing checked, or get it fixed. And I told him that I was an English major, which I am. And I said, I bet I could teach you a new cuss word. And he goes, I doubt it. I said, no, I really probably can. I could probably teach you a cuss word you've never heard of. And I said, well, have you ever heard of cunt? Yeah. Prick? Yeah. Fuck? Yeah. I went through a couple more, and I said, how about the word swive? Have you ever heard of the word swive? And he goes, no. I said, it means fuck. Which it does, S-W-I-V-E. It means to copulate, which it has a little bit of a different connotation, though, because it's also where we get the word swivel, like a corkscrew dick, like a duck dick. I know this. I'm a duck at the U of O. duck dicks. I study duck dicks at the U of O. It also can mean like a forceful rape. It can happen to wives in the Lane County Courthouse when people are dyslexic and they see things backwards. Wives can get swiven or screwed in court. And they can get screwed out of houses and time with their kids and money and their sense of justice and reality, and they can get lied about, and things can, get out of hand, and then they can get really angry, and then they can get drunk, and they can get really angry and start screaming and have like a, emotional meltdown, and then it can get recorded, and then it's not good. Things just, kind of go downhill from there. That can happen to certain women. But hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles. So today I'm recovering from life, and I'm using comedy as a way to look at other people's hypocrisy and double standards. Isn't that a fun thing? Oh, how to make a court appearance. You don't get a second chance to make a first impression, and this is never truer than when you make a court appearance. Here are some things you need to think about to prepare. Be smart. First, don't even fucking go to court. That's the smartest thing you can do, is just stay away from court. But your appearance is vitally important. If you aren't wearing an orange prison suit, dress neatly in clean clothes and ask your witnesses and supporters to do the same. Don't dress like you normally do at home. Remove your hat and any visible piercings before entering the courtroom. It won't go over well if you have a face covered in tattoos, usually, if you've done something, I don't know why, that just doesn't make a good impression on judges. Don't put anything shiny or greasy in your hair, such as the wet look gel. No, you don't want to do that. You want to look professional, like the judge and the lawyers and your ex-abusers and people like that, and keep jewelry to a minimum. In the eyes of the court, bling alone is a good enough reason to keep you off the street. So don't wear bling. No bling. That's for movie stars and the Kardashians, and bling, and that's for Melania Trump, and bling is bad. No bling, and no bling. And do not attend court under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Well, that should be like a no-brainer. And do not eat, drink, smoke, or chew gum in the courtroom. No, you eat outside the courtroom and you drink outside the courtroom. Like the lawyers, they go karaokeing after a hard day's work and they drink alcohol. And if you're going to get drunk as a lawyer, you should probably just keep the jug of hard liquor under your, desk, like one of mine did. Smoking, well, that's not against the law. I mean, I've had lawyers that are overweight and lawyers and judges that are overweight, and they probably smoke at home, and they do all sorts of, they probably even have sex somewhere, I'm sure of it. So, but don't have sex in the courtroom. That should be a no-brainer. And be punctual. Be punctual and respectful. It's like Shirley Temple, the height of impropriety. Don't wear a pillbox hat. And so don't wear a Queen of England hat. And you don't walk in there acting like the Queen of England, and judges don't like to be lectured, especially by English majors. And you don't talk about peace roses. Go to the courtroom and check in with the clerk, then stay there until your name and case are called. Arrive on time, and if possible, arrive early to allow time to compose yourself. You should go in there with great composure and no meltdowns. That's for the lawyers to do, not for the people being scrutinized and put under the microscope. You better compose yourself. It's just like just act like you're walking on rainbows and roses, but don't talk about them. Yes, and then if you arrive rushed, you will take that tension into the courtroom, because courtrooms are never a tense place. No, and it will harm your credibility. Isn't that incredible? To think about your credibility. You must maintain your credibility. The best way to do that is to hire a cutthroat lawyer that's unethical, who hires a Facebook investigator that uses everything and anything you've ever done against you, like skydiving or dressing up for Halloween, like your alter ego of, some streetwalker having fun with the boyfriend. That's the height of impropriety. Don't do costumes. You'll look crazy. Missing a hearing altogether may result in a contempt of court charge against you. You cannot have contempt of court, even if you have contempt for the people who operate courts, because corruption happens in court quite often. I know these things because I talk to people outside of court, and then I see the double standards and the double lives of the judges and the lawyers, and the butchers and the bakers and the candlestick makers. It's a foul joke. It's kind of like mock court, especially when you go into court and you get mocked and ridiculed and laughed at. Be articulate. Enunciate your words. Be articulate. When you are addressed by the judge, you should stand and speak politely, clearly and calmly, using good language. Do not swear or use slang unless you are quoting what someone said. Address the judge as your honor. Speak only to the judge and attorneys. Do not address other witnesses or the jury directly. So it's stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down. It's like doing calisthenics in court, especially when you don't even know all the rules because you didn't go to school to become a lawyer and you can't afford a lawyer, so you try to represent yourself. It usually doesn't go well. Stay calm. Don't interrupt the attorney or the judge, and don't argue with them. They're always right, especially when they already have the case predetermined against you and the damage has already been done. It's amazing. It's like a setup. The judge's word is final. They're like God. If you refuse to obey him or her, you may be held in contempt of court. The best way to lose a case is to lose your temper. Stay calm. See, what you do is you lose your temper at home behind closed doors. That's what landed you in court in the first place if you're in a domestic dispute. We've all seen witnesses and defendants losing it in the courtroom dramas on TV, and their outburst is nearly always followed by a smug-looking attorney saying, "No further questions, Your Honor." Attorneys' jobs are to try to get you to lose your temper in front of a judge. And then they return to their seat in triumph. Attorneys love to win. They're evil about it, some of them. They're evil. They get a high off of it. I saw that look on my ex-husband's attorney's face. She got a high off of just going for the jugular and trying to decimate me further than I've already been decimated. The opposing attorney will try to attack your credibility and get you to argue with him or her so you lose your composure. Don't fall for it. The only thing in my court case that the last judge I had, approved of, or at least supported, was my doing comedy. Everything else was, I'm just a bad mom, because courts are set up for the good cop, bad cop, good mom, good dad, bad dad. And nobody's ever 100% good. Not even my own dad. And he was a good dad. He wasn't 100% good. My mom, she was a good mom, but she wasn't 100% good. Every single person on the face of this earth has some issues. Every single one of us. So, if you have issues today, I hope you're getting through them. If you need tissues, I hope you use them. And if you have issues that involve sneezing, I hope you keep it to yourself. And if you have issues that involve social distancing while you sneeze alone up in a bathroom with a magazine, I hope you enjoy yourself and you keep everyone away if you would be embarrassed by sneezing alone upstairs in the bathroom with a magazine. Because that's not illegal. And so having sneezing issues is kind of sneeze is a lot like having an orgasm. It's a build-up and a release. So as a mother of many children and an educator who can speak freely about sexual issues, if you have sexual issues, you should not take them out on people in your life, especially if you combine them with anger issues. That's not nice. So anger issues combined with sexual issues can result in forcing someone to do something against their will, and that can be emotionally devastating. And that's a hard one to heal up from. It takes probably the rest of your life, quite often. But it is possible. It is possible to recover and carry on and have a good life. Maybe not a perfect life, but a good life. It takes a lot of work. So if you're out of work right now, I'm sorry. Work at home. do something. There's lots of things. Sweep your house, wash your dishes, clean your toilet. You know how many icky shitters I've seen in my lifetime? Just, if your toilet looks shitty, go clean your toilet. And if you feel shitty, go take a dump. And, just take a load off Annie. And don't shit on Annie. What'd she do to you? And just, wallow in your own shit and think about how shitty of a person you are and just wallow. Just wallow at home and wallow in your squalor. If you live in a house full of squalor, then just wallow in it. I've been in houses that look like squalor. That's some people's lifestyle. They just live in a squalorish home and they've got lots of dogs and cats and dirt and they're okay with it. Their house stinks, but they can't smell it. And they drink and smoke and do all sorts of, vices and nasty habits. And if you've got a dirty little secret, keep it a dirty little secret. And be sorry for yourself if, your faithful and loyal monogamous marriage partner finds out and then, decides that doesn't want to live that way anymore and just flies out of there. So be thankful if you didn't get along with her, you got rid of her or him. Be thankful. Be thankful if you get away from people and you're alive. Just be thankful you're alive today. If you're alive today, be thankful for that. And then forgive your mom and dad. Just forgive them because they didn't ask to be born any more than you asked to be born. So that's my encouraging message today. If it's possible to forgive, forgive. I can forgive people. Yes, I have. I've forgiven lots of people and I've forgiven myself because I'm not perfect. I'm definitely not perfect. But I could be worse. I could be better and I could be worse. And I think most people can say the same thing about themselves. You could be better and you could be worse. If you're alive, you're alive. That's good. And stay off of drugs. Don't smoke cigarettes. No nicotine. Don't smoke cigarettes. That'll give you lung cancer. Stay off of drugs. Street drugs. That's not good. If you take pharmaceuticals, don't get addicted to them. If it's something legal and you can handle it, know how your body reacts. So if you're 420 friendly and you're good with that, then that's good. It's legal. If you can handle alcohol, that's good. It's legal. If you're not over drinking and killing yourself or anyone else, that's legal. Do what's legal. Be a law unto yourself and follow the laws of the land you live in. And don't get arrested. And go to school. Study those books. There's so much to learn out there. There's no one that should be bored. There's artwork to do and painting. You can paint. You can dance. Put some music on and dance. If you're bored, that means you're a boring person. So don't be bored. Play a board game or something, even if it's solitaire. And enjoy the solitude. Isn't that a beautiful word? Solitude. It's an attitude of enjoying being solo and single and just alone. It can be peaceful. And everybody needs to be peaceful. It lowers your stress level and you don't want to be stressed all the time because that can lower your immunities. So be at peace.